What's up, everyone? Dragon Shinobi here, and today with this video, we're gonna be doing another The Road to Dying Light 2, because the final episode of Dying to Know, I believe the final episode at least, just came out today as I'm recording it. Well, not as it just didn't just come out. It came out today at like noon, but I had work, so that wasn't an option. So, what we're gonna do is, as you can see, I have all these links, and they are all the videos I believe that are important, or at least going to be interesting, for us to enjoy Dying Light 2 to the maximum. And there's some towards the end that I'm really looking forward to. I mainly like the skill tree and all that, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Before we really just go ahead and jump in with Dedrick here, I'm not can't and I apologize if I have any repeat videos from the first Dying Light or the Road to Dying Light video I had. I didn't really try. I checked the video real quick to see if I had missed any videos or anything like that, and I don't believe I have any repeat videos. But if I do, I apologize, and I will have all these links in the description. Trying to think of what I want to say here as I'm recording, because I'm just doing this on the fly. But right before we get started with the videos and all that, just want to say thanks for watching. You know, I'm not big or anything, but you checked out this video. I appreciate it. And I'm gonna do the whole YouTube spiel: like, comment, subscribe, whatever. I don't give a shit. Fuck YouTube. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into this. I'm going to mute for every video, and then I'm going to unmute after it. We're going to talk about it, maybe go back into each video, even though this is going to be like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. And we're just going to see how this goes. I don't have a good microphone, but I am planning on getting a better one. So hopefully that'll be happening soon. I need to look into microphones. Probably going to get a condenser mic or something. Not sure. But enough rambling on. Let's go ahead and get started with this.
No! Please! Just kill me already! I'm serious. Grab a machete and cut my ears off. I won't survive another story about some traveler having a dream about a girl surrounded by monsters. I've had it 100 times. Once more and I'll die of boredom. I swear.
You're exaggerating, Thomas. I like listening to it.
It's a very good story, my boy. One with a moral.
Even if it's the best story with the best moral, I'm going for a walk. I'll come back when you're finished with this nonsense.
I can tell you a different story. This city is full of tales.
But I don't want to hear any. I'm too old for this, Grandpa. Bye.
Don't go. It'll be getting dark soon.
I'll be okay. A short walk before bed won't hurt me. I'll head back when I hear the bell.
And if you can hear it,
Seriously? Do you really think I won't be able to hear a bell that weighs 2 tons? That new bell ringer strikes it so hard that sometimes I need to cover my ears. I feel like the monsters aren't leaving their hideouts because the night is coming, but because the dumb bell wakes them up.
That's true. I always cover my ears when I hear it.
the ringing has to be loud, so that everyone in the city knows it's almost sunset and the hungry monsters are about to pour out onto the streets. When that happens, it's better to stay within the light of a UV lamp, like we're doing now.
We know that, Grandpa. Anyway, leave me some of that magical soup. I'll be hungry when I'm back.
Grandpa, why did you say that Thomas might not hear the bell?
Because the bell may not ring.
Ah, come on, Grandpa. There was never ever a time when the bell wouldn't ring. It always rings.
It always rings. But one time, it was late.
No.
One time, the bell ringer was 7 minutes late. Several families were still in the fields. They didn't make it back home before the monsters came. That one slip-up cost us 16 lives.
I've never heard that tale.
Because it's not a tale. It happened.
When?
You were maybe 2 years old, and Greta hadn't been born yet. We had this old bell ringer named Dedrick. He never told us his surname, so we just put Dedrick the bell ringer on his gravestone. He was old but tough. Every day, he would climb those tiny stairs all the way up and strike the bell like he was no more than 20. Back then, I believe our bell was even louder than it is now.
And that one day, why didn't he ring on time?
That's not a story for children. But maybe Thomas is right. Maybe kids have to grow up faster these days. Should I tell you a story for grown-ups? What do you think?
It's about time you did.
I don't care, Grandpa. I have nightmares anyway.
Okay then. Dedrick was a very diligent bell ringer. He would leave for work long before sunset, and he'd always ring the bell on time. He'd spend several nights in the tower, then he'd come back. We didn't know much about him. As you can tell, people here are rather reluctant to share their stories. No one wants to revisit the days before the apocalypse. We only knew two things: that he fled from the Netherlands and that he had a daughter. The rest was just rumors and speculations. They said his daughter had been kidnapped by bandits and was held somewhere in the city. I'll spare you the reasons for her kidnapping. You're far too young to hear that part of the story.
We are not.
Trust me, you are. People are capable of doing things far worse than the monsters do.
Who touched that? That's mine. Anyone touches my food again, I'll kill you.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. But back to Dedrick. He volunteered to be the bell ringer because he could see the whole city from the tower. He hoped to find his daughter that way, and one day, he did.
Wow, what a great story.
Hold your horses. I'm not so sure about it.
He saw her about to be hanged by the peacekeepers. They probably took her for one of the bandits and sentenced her to death without trial. Her father stood in a tiny window at the top of the tower and watched his only child die. He couldn't do anything.
He could. He could ring the bell. He could pretend that the night was coming. They would stop the execution and seek shelter. Maybe he'd save her.
Maybe. The best ideas always come too late.
What happened to him, that Dedrick? What a tragedy. That sight must have haunted him for the rest of his days.
You could say so. He watched as the hangman prepared the rope and secured the noose, put it around the girl's neck, then threw the rope over the gallows, and crack. He watched his daughter hang in the air. They say he mimicked the hangman's every move with the bell rope. He witnessed enough executions to know how victims jerk wildly before they die. He knew he would make the bell ring. He waited. Then he hanged himself at the same moment they hanged his daughter. They died together. That's why the bell rang later than usual.
Thanks, Grandpa. I think I'm going to have a new nightmare tonight, for a change.
Are you still going for a walk, Thomas?
I don't know. What if the bell doesn't ring?
Since that day, there have always been two bell ringers in the tower. in case anything happened to one of them.
Good idea.
Stay with us, Thomas. Maybe tomorrow we can go for a walk together. The three of us. What do you say?
Yes.
Okay, Grandpa. Maybe we could take Asta too? The new bell ringer's daughter.
The bell ringer's daughter? I'm not so sure.
All right, so I believe I've heard that. I don't know if I showed this in the last one, but I've definitely heard this one by myself. So if this one was a repeat, I apologize. I did comment on it 3 months ago, so this definitely could have been in the last video. What did I say? Something excitingly unsettling about these stories, like a mix of SCP and creepypasta stories. And each video with the peacekeepers seems like they're the ones who make a majority of the conflict in the city. Villadore, I believe the name is. Can't wait to experience the story of the new infected. And I'm really glad Dying Light 2 isn't stuck in development hell. So ready for this game to, come out. Interesting that he mentions 2 bell ringers and the bell didn't ring on time. Probably just a story. Could happen in game though. Never know. Let's see. Did I comment on this one? Yes, I did. And my wallet's gonna hate me. So same thing. I'm gonna mute. Oh, and I should have said this before Dedrick. I have closed captions on, so it's just in case. Let's say you can't listen. You can still read the subtitles, which I think is nice. And I'm trying to think here. I don't know. Let's just jump into it. So yeah, I'm gonna mute, play the video, unmute, and talk about it. This one's 22 minutes long. So let's get into it.
And welcome to the... Wait, what episode number are we on again? The 4th?
So let's count. We started with introducing Ayden Caldwell, the protagonist.
That's true. And then we looked at some of the monsters we'll find in the city.
Exactly. And then it was parkour and creative combat.
Wow. All right. Well, 4 episodes already. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. And if you missed any episodes so far, they're all on our YouTube channel for you to catch up.
And we have already shown you so much, it might seem you know everything about the game.
But...
But it's just the tip of the iceberg. So let's dive a bit deeper.
Today, we're going to show you the vast open world of Dying Light 2. Even though it's violent, brutal, and full of death, you'll find there's a surprising amount of beauty and vibrancy in the city.
And you will hear a lot about exploration, freedom, interaction, and some secrets you may find in the city.
And at the end of this episode, there's going to be one secret less, because we're going to be doing a big old Hollywood name drop and showing you a new big name in the world of Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Who is it? You have to wait till the end to find out.
There are many elements that create the open world of Dying Light to Stay Human. The city has a diverse architecture with historic churches, a business district, modern apartment blocks, and old Villadore. It is full of immersive sounds that fill the streets, and there are plenty of characters that you will meet along the way. But it's impossible to talk about all of this at once. So let's start with the places that you will visit and explore during your journey. And for that, I have my next guests, Katarzyna Zielińska, Senior Concept Artist, and Bartosz Januszkiewicz, Lead 3D Artist. As we know, Villadore is unlike any city we have seen before, mostly because the pandemic and the apocalypse have left their marks on the city. But what exactly are those marks?
Yes, we wanted the player to feel the past of the city while they're exploring it, to see the city's old glory, this old civilization, its old monuments of its old heroes, big skyscrapers, a TV tower, or old abandoned subway stations, or even an abandoned cargo ship. I mean, the city's heydays are clearly behind us, but if you explore it fully, you'll find old traces of the city just before the spread of the Haram virus.
That's very true. Also, during exploration, the player will see that citizens of the city are trying to bring back some of the aspects of, let's say, normality. And yes, they are fully aware that it's pointless, but they are still trying. To give you an example, we'll meet a man who, to add some love to the city, created something that's similar to today's dating apps. We'll also have a chance to listen to an opera singer who sings arias from years ago among the ruins.
And those are the colorful characters I mentioned. Anything to add?
Yes, it's definitely worth exploring the major vast city of our game. Besides the player's main goals, side quests, and missions, you can venture back to the past of the city once called Villadore. You can find old traces of newspapers, recordings of the mayor's speeches, books, posters, and many, many other objects that will give you that feeling and history about that whole city. Also, the past can come back in the form of audio cassettes, especially the ones recorded by a father who's desperately seeking to find out what is happening with his daughter.
Oh, I know this story very well, and it is quite emotional, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Bartek, thank you. Kasia, to you as well. Thank you for joining me. Of course, we have just scratched the surface of what's there in the game, but we will let you to discover it by yourself.
Speaking of exploration, you can't jump into the city just yet, but you can start by exploring the very place where everything began, Haran from Dying Light 1, and much more, as the Platinum Edition of Dying Light is coming this year to Nintendo Switch on October the 19th. And yes, you can already pre-order it. You can find more details on our website, switch.dyinglightgame.com, so check it out after the episode. All right, back to Villadore. We've glimpsed its past, we've seen its present, but what about the future of the city? Here to talk to us about that today is Thomas Gerbeau, the world director of Dying Light 2. Hello, it's good to see you again. So, can we do more than simply explore the city?
Yeah, much more. You see, when you first arrive in the city, you discover a decaying metropolis whose past glory you can really just imagine. And if you ask me, there's already beauty in that. But you know what's even more beautiful than a dying city?
Seeing it come back to life?
Exactly. In the first moments of the game, when Ayden makes it through the wall, the infrastructures are decaying, falling apart, or destroyed. But some are just dormant, waiting to be revived. So, for example, we have several electrical stations throughout the city, and of course these have been offline for ages. But if you choose to do so, you can attempt to fix them. And if you succeed, it's a real game changer. With electricity back on, the face of the city changes. Storefronts light up, air vents turn on and help with the navigation, electrical traps become available to fight the infected, and old world remnants just come back to life. And you can explore these if you want to learn about the history of this place.
Ooh, and I do want to learn about the history. So we can revive the city, literally, then.
Yeah, but there are many more ways in which the choices of the player will shape the world around them.
Okay, I mean, what kind of choices are we looking at?
Well, actually, as you restore power to the city and help a new civilization rise on top of the old one, you're given one central choice. Which faction are you going to side with? It's called the City Alignment System, and besides gameplay consequences, it will give you the power to shape the skyline of the city, literally. You see, peacekeepers or survivors, according to your choice, will build different structures with a different function, harboring different characters inside of them.
Okay, so that's quite vague. Can we have a specific example in-game of what that might look like?
Yeah, for sure. Let's look at this situation. So in this case, for example, we chose to help the survivors. What we're going to see is they are going to build a school on the rooftop. And inside of it is a teacher teaching the kids. Now, let's look at what would happen if I chose the peacekeepers instead. You see, the school is turning into a PK rooftop outpost. And inside of it is now a shopkeeper with whom I can actually trade. And outside is an NPC who may just have a specific quest for me.
Ooh, cool. So we've gone from a teacher to a shopkeeper here. I mean, can we actually interact with these NPCs?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, let's look at it this way. If you were to go to a foreign place, you would probably want to talk to the locals to learn about where to go, where to sleep, where to eat, where to party, maybe. It's the same in our city. You can talk to the locals to learn about the insider secret of the city and actually answer some important world questions. You know, just learn to get around in our city.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But what about when the sun sets?
Well, then it's a different thing. You know, you will learn about urban legend, folk tales, and actually ranging from campfire stories through songs to rooftop theater. People will always need stories to learn how to live, and it's especially important in our city. And who knows, if you pay attention, maybe you'll realize that some of your actions, some of the choices you make in-game become stories told on the rooftops.
So I could be an urban legend in the game. That's so cool. I mean, it sounds like I'm going to need multiple playthroughs to really fully experience the richness of these choices and these worlds. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Thomas. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Leah.
If you'd like to start exploring the world of Dying Light 2 Stay Human already, why don't you go to techlandgg.com, where you'll find our whole new section with stories about the citizens of Villadore. Check them out now and let us know on our social media what you want to hear about. And while you're there, don't forget to grab other rewards and goodies, such as these new weapons, the Dragon Breath Bow and the Neon Storm Ye Old Trusty. Go to techlandgg.com to get them now. My next guest is the composer of the Dying Light 2 Stay Human soundtrack, Olivier de Rivière. I want to talk about what the main inspiration for the soundtrack was then.
The main inspiration came from the creative director, who gave me one word: broken. So that was very inspiring because it's a strong word, and we wanted to spread that idea through the city, the main characters, the story, everywhere. Not only through the story, actually, but also through the gameplay. So every actions, everything you're doing is supported by music.
Okay, that's a pretty strong main theme. Does that change depending on who we're talking to or what we're doing?
Yeah, definitely. What we wanted to do is to have something that will be impactful for players, that will be recognized. So, for instance, you have factions in this game. Those factions have a musical theme, and then as you are giving away some zones, giving away some buildings, locations, you will give that to a certain faction. Therefore, you will have a certain music attached with the faction, and therefore the music will sound depending on your choices, which is like creating the soundscape of the city out of your choices.
Wow, yeah, so you're making it quite a personal experience then as you make your own little mini soundtrack.
Definitely, yeah.
That's really cool, so it sounds quite interactive.
It is very interactive. Let's take like, throughout all the gameplay mechanics we have, there is parkour, of course. And the idea is like on the ground level, there is like death, there is nothing. And so we didn't want to have music there. But on the rooftop, where life is back, we wanted to have a sense of freedom. So parkour happens there. And you have the music at first. If you just run, what happens is like the music is just a soundscape, something that's, it's not big. But the more moves you do, the more crazy stuff you're doing, jump over the building, the walls and everything, the bigger the music, to such an extent that at some point the music kicks into a flow, parkour flow. And now you don't even want to stop parkouring because the music is pushing you to do that. So,
yeah. That sounds really like rewarding.
It is very rewarding.
Making your own little awesome soundtrack as you go. What about the combat then? Is that the same?
Yeah, the combat has the same treatment of being interactive. So you would have to meet, any enemy with a special melody, a special theme. But mostly it's about your actions. So if you go and fight and decide to be very, very blunt, the music will react to this, as well as, if you kill somebody, if you get away, like running away from the enemy, and everything is supported by the music.
Okay, all right. I mean, that sounds really intense. There's a lot going on. It sounds like the kind of thing we need to be able to see and hear together to truly appreciate. So why not take a look? Wow. I mean, yeah, you can truly appreciate how it's all coming together and making, again, a really personal feeling experience. But does that kind of change depending on where we are in the map, like what location we're in?
Right, it definitely changes depending where you are in the game. So when you start the game, the music would be sort of like soundscape moody, some little things, you know, we don't want to be too big. But as the player goes and as you understand more of the story, as you getting more empowered, the music grows and grows and grows to such an extent that at some point the music get a new treatment and an orchestra is now supporting your actions and the story. Yes, so now it's the next level for the music. But, you know, however, what we wanted to support as well is the personal story of Ayden. And for that, we wanted to have a very special sound, very special instrument that will make the sort of like emotional.
Okay, well, I mean, I really, really want to know more about this, but I am going to have to stop you there, unfortunately, because we need some secrets for next time, of course. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Olivier. It's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to hear the soundtrack.
Thank you.
None of the things that we are talking about here today would be possible without the work of sound level designers, such as Edyta Mosińska-Duralska, who makes it all work in the game. Hello, Edyta.
Hi. We are kind of mediators, I think, between the composer, Olivier, and the game. We implemented his music and vision into Dying Light 2, making sure that it all works as it's supposed to. Like, for example, since we have so many teams, the soundtrack must switch to another system whenever player wanders off the main plot. Whether they fight walls, search for Mia, parkour, or enter Dark Zone, we see to it that the music gets all the changes and details in exactly those moments Olivier imagined.
And we know that music changes when you parkour, fight, or enter locations, right?
Yeah, sure.
But how exactly does it work?
So every system works a little bit different, but in fact it all comes down to creating special zones, scripting, and level design. And we had to set up all of this manually. For example, the music needs to know if the player is parkouring in a dangerous or safe place, if they are jumping over the street, what kind of enemy they are fighting, what's the enemy's faction and rank, and so on, so on, so on. And the music knows it's all mostly thanks to special invisible zones that we add inside the game.
Okay, invisible zones, this sounds intriguing. So what are they and how many of them are there in the game?
Oh, there's so many of them, I guess millions, probably. They are, let's say, boxes triggering when the player enters them. Whenever that happens, they tell the music that it needs to change. But, you know, that's the easy part. The hard one is to set up them properly and fit them into geometry of the world, so they send the right message at the right moment. I think that the windmill was really challenging in that matter.
And why was it so?
So as the player climbs the windmill, the music changes depending on the height they're
Okay,
at.
but let me assure you that players will hear the amazing music and sounds that you have put into the game. Thank you, Edyta.
Thank you.
If you thought the Dying Light 2 soundtrack couldn't get any more impressive, then we have something else to show you. It was played by none other than the London Contemporary Orchestra in the world-famous Abbey Road Studios. Check this out.
Generally, I try to get the core, the substance of, let's say, a word through an instrument. And this time, I had to go back to my friend Nicolas Bras, who's making instruments out of junks, literally junks. And he created this instrument that could be in the world of Dying Light 2, completely like accurate with all the little details and sort of, you know, the roughness of the instrument.
Now it's time for something special. We already know Ayden, the protagonist of Dying Light 2 Stay Human.
And Hakon, who in our game has the face of David Bell, the inventor of parkour.
David Bell! Well, now let's meet another important citizen.
Yeah, and that's the perfect time to show you the surprise we have saved for last. You may know her from the Mandalorian series.
Or from the famous Sin City.
So without further ado,
Meet Lawan.
Hi, I'm Rosario Dawson. Though in Dying Light 2, you will know me as Lawan, a warrior of sorts, a very tough woman who is fighting her past and looking to seek revenge on the people who wronged her. Now, what I really love about this game and this character is that how she is really dependent on you, the player. Is she going to be this rage-filled killer who is obsessed with her goals? Or will she be a night runner who risks her life to save others? It's up to you.
senior writer Piotr Mostowski will tell us more about Lawan. Hello.
So let's talk about Lawan. Lawan is one of the strong, self-reliant women in the world of Dying Light to Stay Human. She is an important character with a lot of impact on the plot, but we also wanted her to be way more than that, to be a real person with her own goals, her own motivations, and her own opinions as well. So if she doesn't like something you do or something you say, she will tell you that, and she will act on it, you know, sometimes even against you, and you will feel the consequences of it. She's her own boss, and her kill list is open, so you don't want to end up on it.
She has a kill list.
No, no, she doesn't.
I need to know more about that.
Guys, let's stop here because that's a spoiler. Peter, tell us more. Why did we choose Rosario to become Lawan?
Because Lawan is uncompromising and she's tough, and you are going to have a lot of crazy adventures with her, sometimes balancing on the verge of life and death, you know. And in the process, she can become your dearest friend or your enemy at some point. So in order to convey all that, because there is quite a lot to convey, we needed an extraordinary actor, and Rosario turned out to be just perfect, you know.
And I cannot wait to meet her in game. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Dying Light 2 Stay Human is just a few months away, and on February the 4th, we'll finally be able to experience its vast and vibrant open world, complex characters, and gripping stories.
Thank you for joining us today. Next time, we'll show you what choices you might encounter in the city and the ways in which you can change the world. Stay safe.
Stay human.
All right. I feel like I've also shown this one before too. Maybe I just watched it and didn't say anything. It's I don't know. I noticed something going on with the with my OBS. Just want to make sure everything's going on with it. Okay, I don't think I can change anything with it right now. So yeah, we met Lawan. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not keen with the idea of her being a strong, independent woman. You know the whole thing. I just don't want a bunch of crap that doesn't need to be in the game to be in the game. For my sake, okay, I'm gonna tune down the quality of the videos because I'm gonna be putting this at 1080p anyway. So, okay, so wait, did I show the Dying 1003 episode 4? Oh, this is no more. Okay. Um, Streets Rage 4 Vampire. Ooh, okay. Neat. So, okay, nothing to really comment though. Just go ahead and jump into the next one then.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Dying to Know More. My name is Paulina and today I have something very special for you. Meet an amazing Olivier de Rivière, a composer of Dying Light 2 Stay Human soundtrack. Hi Olivier.
Hi, Paulina.
In the last episode of Dying to Know, we saw an amazing video recorded in Abbey Road Studios, but today I would like to talk about something different, instruments. And speaking of, could you please tell me what is that amazing thing standing next to us?
Well, this instrument has been made by Nicolas Bras, and it's called the Electric Saltery.
Okay, but why is it so special?
Well, number one, it looks special, and number two, it sounds special. It's made out of junk, you can see it, and it's, in my opinion, it can belong into the world of Dying Light 2.
Yeah, but couldn't you just use already existing instruments?
It would have been boring.
Okay. So show us, how does it work?
So we have two different zones. You have the first zone here, which is like the plug strings, or you can bow them. Then you have this zone here with 4 strings, which is more about the other people in the world, with the neck here and the bass. You have the wheel here, which is the wheel of fate, which you can hear when you take a big decision in the game.
Wow, it actually looks like pulled alive from the game.
That's exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to have something that could be a reference to the actual world of Dying Light 2.
Okay, so let's move to soundtrack. I would like to ask you about the track Run Jump Fight. What do you feel when you listen to it today?
Well, when I'm listening to it, I think it shows everything that you're doing in the game, which is running with the strings, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, the brass with the jump, wham, and of course the drums with the fight, pum, pum, pum.
Okay, I think we need to know more about the soundtrack. So could you please give us more spoilers?
Well, you do have in the soundtrack a part that is about Ayden, Mia, and Waltz, and there is a lot of hints there about their own story. And on the second part, you would have more about the people you meet, the world itself, and all together, they tell the whole story of Dying Light 2.
Okay, I can't wait to hear all these tracks. And thank you, Olivier, for being with me today.
Okay, that was a lot shorter than what I was expecting. Mad Lad took Fine, I'll do it myself to a whole new level. Yeah. Actually really interesting on that instrument. I kind of want to build like something that would be in the Dying Light 2 world myself. Something that might exist in post-apocalypse Villadore. Oh boy, another okay, this one's short too. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump into this one too, I guess.
abandoned structures and what is their function in Dying Light 2? Let's find out. My next guest in Dying to Know More is the one and only Tymon Smektawa. Hello, Tymon.
Hello, Paulina.
In the last episode of Dying to Know, we got to know more about architecture and places in the city. But today, I am more curious about buildings, especially abandoned structures and their functions. So please tell us more.
Yes, the abandoned structures, they are actually very interesting places. We said it many times before that we want to give players an ability to influence and change the world around them. And we do that with the use of the city alignment system, of which the abandoned structures are a very important part, as they affect both gameplay and world building.
Okay, so let's start from the world building.
Yes, so when Ayden enters the city, abandoned structures are just that. Forsaken, ransacked buildings with maybe some loot to find. But as the game progresses, they start to bring real and visible change to the city skyline, as players are able to restore and assign them to one of the factions, changing their looks and use. As they become operational, they start to give you a glimpse of that faction's philosophy, way of living, or goals.
So my decisions are important to the world around me, but how important they are for me as a player?
And that's a good question, and thank you for asking about that. And the answer is actually very simple. Gameplay changes. When you restore an abandoned structure, it becomes, as we call it, the functional building. And then it starts offering you a lot of new opportunities.
What kind of opportunities?
Well, all sorts. For example, there might be vendors that offer you unique items, or maybe new quests or new collectibles, or maybe NPCs that you can talk to, which usually leads to new adventures.
Is that all?
No, because there are also training grounds where you can test unique exotic weapons like a catapult bat or a blastaway. And there are also new challenges that you can face.
Wait, new challenges. That's actually quite new for us. So please tell us more.
Yes, challenges, that's what I said. So there are a few dozen of them in the game, and they are basically split into two main groups, combat ones and parkour ones. So with the combat ones, we tried to have a little fun with our mechanics, maybe twist and bend them a little. So usually we ask you to use your skills in crazy and extreme situations.
Okay, and parkour ones?
So for parkour, we have delivery missions and checkpoint races. And so let me give you a little backstory. There's a guy on our team whose nickname is Głowa. He's the lead gameplay programmer and also a mastermind behind Dying Light's parkour. And he also adores platform games.
You mean like Mario?
Actually, yes, Mario, that's his favorite character. So if you love Mario the same way as he does, you will definitely find something interesting in the challenges he created.
Okay, so that's enough about Mario. As we know what abandoned structures are and what is their function in the city, I am very curious. Which one of them is your favorite?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think I will say the art workshop, because to see a place of such beauty and sophistication in the middle of the apocalypse, this is really a picture that stays embedded in your head for long. But aside of that, maybe a bakery, a smokehouse, a pumpkin farm, maybe even Peacekeeper's Cadet Academy. Well, there are a lot of them that you can discover as you play the game.
So we can actually say that Ayden will help in civilization rebuilding.
In a way, yes, but I think it's more like he's helping the people that have survived the first decades after the fall of humankind as we know it to build a new future. Those people, they have covered their basic needs already, and now when they start feeling relatively safe, they're looking a little bit higher on the Maslow pyramid.
So we can say that they try to stay human with all they have.
Beautifully said. Like, I couldn't express it better. Yes, absolutely. That's a great summary.
Thank you, Tymon, for all of your answers.
Thank you, Paulina.
And thank you all for watching us today, and see you next time.
I find it really interesting that he specifically mentioned the Cadet Academy, bakery, smokehouse, pumpkin farm, which I believe we've already seen the pumpkin farm. That was in one of the last 3 videos. some like B-roll footage. And I like the fact that they're not just like, okay, they're really trying to put emphasis on the fact that your choices matter and it'll change your world, which I'm really curious as to how co-op is going to affect things. Is it just going to be the person who's host of the world is the only thing that matters, or man, there's so many things I want to know and I want to play it. Is this one an audio story? Corpse exists. Techland. Time to give it a unique role. Okay. I don't even know what to expect this one. This one's only 30 seconds, so I'm not even going to mute my mic.
Only the survivors tell the stories.
That's a volatile.
Stories from the dying city.
Ooh, okay. That's one of the ones coming up. Neat. Okay, dying to know more. This one's about Lawan. Kind of interested to know more about her. So, as per usual, muting mic, unmuting, blah blah blah. You know the drill by now.
Remember Jade from Dying Light 1? I know you do. And I know you loved her. But now someone else is trying to steal your heart. She's real badass in the world of Dying Light 2. And her name is Lawan. My name is Paulina, and this is the next episode of Dying to Know More. Today, together with my guest, Timon Smektawa, we will be talking more about one of the most important characters in Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Hi, Timon.
Hi, Paulina. And Lawan, yes, she's a very interesting character, the same as the actress that plays her, Rosario Dawson. I think they are a great match together.
Actually, that's really great that you've mentioned that, because we are all very intrigued. Why Rosario Dawson?
Well, so Rosario is a talented actress, but also an amazing person. She's super tough and super confident with whatever she does. And she is also aware of her influence as an activist. So from the first minute of the mock-up sessions with her, we knew that we have found a perfect person to become our Lawan.
Okay, but in one of the gameplay trailers that we've published, Lawan had completely different face. You know, blonde hair, ponytail, brown eyes.
Exactly, but there's a very easy answer to that. We just wanted to keep it as a surprise, to avoid any spoilers before the official announcement.
Yeah, that's actually very clever. Okay, so how much of Rosario is there in Lawan?
A lot. So let me tell you, at first we just wanted to have someone that will be able to understand Lawan's personality and be able to play the character with authenticity. But as soon as Rosario started to work on that character, we realized that we need to change and expand our artistic vision due to all of the insights that she added to Lawan's attitude and behavior.
That's actually amazing that Rosario herself had impact on our character. So why Lawan is so special?
She has been through a lot, both good things and bad things, and she understands that every choice brings consequences. What's also amazing is that every decision she makes her stronger and more confident. She acts with real audacity, ready to pay the price for her actions. But she can also pull back too, you know?
I don't think that she's a person who would pull back from anything.
But actually she does. But the thing is that whenever she pulls back, that doesn't make her weaker. Well, she's a complex character, that's all I have to say.
Does it mean that the player can affect her choices?
Yes, in a way. So Ayden can trigger some of the things, some of the decisions she makes in the game. And so players can decide how they want to help or support her along this whole journey. But the thing is that no matter what they do, no matter what path they will take together, they can be sure that Lawan will be ready to face whatever awaits her.
Okay, but what about her attitude? We all saw the scene at the rooftop with Ayden, and it wasn't a smooth one.
Well, definitely. Well, she speaks sharp as a blade, and she has a lot of life to her. And she's also very focused on her goals, so she's willing to sacrifice everything to achieve them. She's also stubborn and fierce and impulsive.
Okay, sounds like a troublemaker.
Yes, perhaps she is, but what I like most about her is her personal growth as the game plays. And there's actually a lot to learn about her past, about her relationships with other characters, as well as her famous to-do list.
To-do list?
Yes, to-do list. When I say that, I mean a list of people she wants to kill.
Ah, I heard about her to-kill list.
Yes, so you don't want to be on that one because she's a damn good fighter, and just look at the crossbow she's holding. She knows how to use that.
She seems to be a person that you want to have nearby when the things get tough.
Well, absolutely, she is a badass.
Thank you, Timon, for joining me today.
Thank you, Paulina.
And as much as I love talking with you, I really can't wait what Lawan has to say herself. So, dear fans, especially for you, Rosario Dawson.
I think that this role came my way because Lawan is a very strong character, and she needs to be. She's gone through a lot. And to survive in this world in Dying Light, you have to be strong. But one of the things that I've always had as a mission in my work is to make every character that I play strong, because I believe that sometimes maybe it's not obvious what makes someone powerful and unique, but you can find that in every single person who's determined to survive the day, you know? So good, bad, or ugly, we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. And what's cool about this world and this game and this character is that it's up to you how Lawan actually is strong.
What?
Is she full on and a badass and coming in hard and fast? You know, it really is up to you what you think is the best way for her to get through and achieve her goals. And I find that really fascinating and very revealing, because I want everyone to experience the reality that anyone and everyone can be strong depending on what they choose to do. So the choice is yours.
This has nothing to do with you.
One of the things that I find the most exciting about being a part of this game is that as an actor, you know, I come prepared and I really research my roles and I talk it out and work it out with the writer and the director and the producers and figure out the tone and, you know, try to give as many options, obviously, to the editor and the director as possible. But, you know, I have still quite a lot of say-so in how I move and speak and behave. And I find that actually really exciting, that, you know, we're gonna do the whole screening and get my avatar in there in a really realistic way, beyond what fans from the original game can even imagine could be coming their way with Dying Light 2. But I get to kind of experience seeing myself be committed and determined, and my expressions and my voice and my energy do things that I wasn't expecting to do, that I didn't imagine doing. Dying Light fans, you know this from experience already, and Dying Light 2 is going to really hit this hard. What you do has consequences. Your actions have consequences. If you hesitate, if you are impulsive, if you have a strategy, are you working in a team? Like, whatever it is has consequences. That's important to know in game life, in an open world, or out here in the real world. And I love that. I think that responsibility is awesome.
I'm gonna have to disagree with her and saying that we already know that in game our actions have consequences. If she's saying for Dying Light 2, yes, but coming from Dying Light 1, nothing we did mattered besides killing Arise. That literally nothing we did mattered, and besides maybe the ending of the following also, where we either get to turn into the Night Hunter volatile or blow ourselves up with nukes. I do like this though, because it really reinforces the fact that she's playing the character, not forcing any bullshit agenda or anything like that. It's for the game. The game comes first, and I love that. And that's a good thing to back us up. Also, one thing that I started to realize, right there. Does this mask look familiar to anyone? Because it looks familiar to me. It looks like the Bozak Horde mask. And I will comment this. Um, I need autocorrect for this shit. And I know this came out November 3rd of last year. Oof, that was 3 months ago. 2 months? Shit, it is 2 months. Just be coincidence. Yeah, I fucked that up. Think. If I could type and not be stupid. Okay. Yeah, Lawn seems like a cool character, and I kind of want to go for my first playthrough of trying to kill her. Storor interview? Let's see. Meet Storor, a collective of 7 athletes renowned for their world-class parkour skills. And Britain. Oh well. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this.
Hi guys, we're Team Storor. We're here today at the release of Dying Light 2 to basically recreate some of these scenes, and as we all know, parkour is going to become super handy when the apocalypse comes and we want to get away with this thing.
What got us into parkour is we started watching a documentary back in the day called Jump London, made by a legendary guy called Mike Prestige. All got us into parkour and moving. And another cool thing about this is David Bell, the founder of parkour, is featured in doing a lot of the motion capture and the movement for the game, which is really interesting. We're going to try and also recreate some of these stunts and moves as well.
Actually, I think the first thing I watched on the internet was David Bell doing roof gaps, so that was a strong inspiration. And our style of movement is quite rooftop heavy, which is definitely inspired from David Bell. Big drops, David Bell does them the best.
So the iconic gap manpower is just really inspiring to see this kind of renegade, don't care attitude, and these people using these architectural spaces in a unique way that I'd never seen before, we had never seen before. So it just inspired us to move. And knowing that founder, David Bell, has a big part in this game is just crazy to know.
So obviously it's a game world and you can do lots more parkour in the game than you can do in real life. You can take crazy drops, you can jump up buildings that you wouldn't be able to do in real life, but I think that's a good thing, being able to explore, and ultimately it's parkour on steroids. You've got so many opportunities in the game to jump and cross these spaces that you probably wouldn't be able to do in real life, but they're using real parkour techniques, so it's the best of both worlds.
So the advice that I give to the Dying Light 2 gamers across the world would be head to the rooftops and escape. From our own personal experiences, escaping is the best form of self-defense. Get on your feet, start jumping roof gaps, run, jump, you won't get caught.
In the game, I feel like the thing that I would utilize most, obviously being a parkour athlete, are the parkour skills, but also being able to use the parkour in a creative way to evade the infected and also to kind of stagger in and involve the fighting as well. That's kind of what I would do.
It's also cool that you can use the axes, you've got zip lines, you've got these crazy sort of like pole vaults all over the map. So you can really just explore, get creative, and you'll find new things to do.
I think if the infected actually came to London, the Stora would do pretty well on the rooftops, to be honest. We've spent the last 15 years designing escape routes and getting away from stuff. It's all we really think about is parkour. So I think we did pretty well, to be honest. Have a good chance of surviving the apocalypse.
So that's it from us. We're about to start shooting here on location today, and we'll actually find out what happens if the monsters in the game turned up in real life. Who's going to be the first one to die? Who's going to be the first to go? Who's going to be the first to go? Seriously intense stuff coming, so keep your eyes peeled.
Ew, British people. Yeah, still don't. Yeah. I mean, neat, cool. I really don't have anything to comment on this besides ew, British people. Thomas Gerbod? I don't fucking know. It's some European name. I'm American. Screw Europe. Okay, let's do this again.
Hi, my name is Paulina, and this is the next episode of Dying to Know More. In the last episode of Dying to Know, we show you how vast and dense our open world is. Today, with my guest, we will talk more about citizens of the city. Meet World Director of Dying Light 2 Stay Human, Thomas Gerbeau. Hi, Thomas. Are you ready?
Of course I'm ready.
Okay, so let's talk about the city and its inhabitants. And first of all, I'm really curious, what changes did Ayden bring to the city?
Well, you see, Ayden is an outsider. He's a pilgrim, and he basically spends his life on the roads trying to evade the infected. There is nothing normal about what he does. But somehow, the circumstances bring him to here, the city, where people have started to build some kind of new normality, which is constrained by our world, of course, fighting infected, you know, the renegades, stalemate. But he's going to disrupt this normality by his choices and by his action, basically.
Are you trying to say that there's a routine in post-apo world?
Well, sort of, actually. In our world, the fall of civilization happened some 15 years ago, so people have gotten the time to get sort of used to it. You know, that's what people do. They got used to everything. So now they are no longer surviving. They're trying to live. They're just human in an extreme situation. A good example of that, for example, is Rahim, a guy in old Villadore that created the analog version of a dating app. But there are also other examples, such as like in the Missy, for example.
Missy? Who's Missy?
It's not a person. It's a place. It's a ship that was grounded during the fall of civilization in the wharf in Central Loop. And the peacekeepers have turned it into one of their main military bases. So if you look at it from outside, it really looks a lot like a military base. But inside, it's actually teeming with life. So what you will see is you will, of course, see soldiers training, changing their clothes, cleaning their weapons, getting their orders at dispatch.
So what kind of future do they believe in?
A safe one, I guess. Maybe a bit too safe, actually. You see, peacekeepers believe in law and order as, you know, the founding of civilization.
Yeah, but these rules seem to be very strict.
They kind of are, indeed, but you could argue that it's what gives them an edge when they're fighting the renegades or the infected who actually thrive in chaos. You know, after all, the peacekeepers, they're just a product of their environment. They're products of our world. And regardless of what you may think about their philosophy, you will feel their presence everywhere in the city. Some could even call it propaganda, actually.
So I understand that there's a lot of environmental storytelling around inhabitants of the city. Am I right?
Yeah, what we tried to do is we tried to let the players understand the rules of our world through their experience, through this exploration, actually. So, for example, if you look at this guy inside one of the cells of the prison in the Peacekeeper's ship, you can wonder what he did. You know that he didn't steal, because otherwise his hand would be chopped off, as you can see, because it's part of the rules. But maybe he challenged PK authority? No one knows.
Yeah, and what will we see?
Details, a lot of them. Besides just the factions and the main characters, we really tried to give life to all the inhabitants of our city. So from eavesdropping, looking at the graffiti, checking the billboards, you know, listening to some of the tapes that are found around the world, you will really learn a lot about what our world is about. It's really the layer that will give textures and that fleshes out our world.
Well, actually, that sounds really cool. I can't wait to see what you guys created for our players.
We're pretty excited too.
Thank you, Thomas, for joining me today. I hope to see you soon again.
Always a pleasure.
And that's it for today. Thank you all for staying with us. Stay tuned for more, and remember, stay human.
Yeah. I mean, Thomas Gerbo, or however his name is pronounced. I like him. He seems like a guy who really knows what he's doing, and it's really good to know this for Dying Light 2. Yeah, I still can't help the feeling that the Peacekeepers are actually the bad guys in this game. It just seems like everything they do, they claim law and order, but it seems like they do nothing but chaos, death, and destruction everywhere they go. Oh, well, I guess we're into the episode 5 of Dying to Know. This is going to be about 30 minutes, so yeah, let's go.
Hi, welcome to the 5th episode of Dying to Know. I'm Jonah, and this is... Leah? No, it's not Dying Light 2, because that ain't out yet.
No, it isn't.
Wait, you are playing a game, though.
This is a surprise I'll reveal right at the end of the episode, because it's Techland's 30th anniversary, so it won't be the only one. So, have some patience and don't go anywhere.
I won't, but can we get this show on the road, please?
Go on then, let's begin. This time we've prepared something very, very unique, and I just can't wait to show it.
That's true. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we will show you fresh news about Techland GG, sum up the Dying Light 2 global preview events, which took place a few weeks ago, and most importantly, a 15-minute walkthrough video straight from Dying Light 2 Stay Human.
So if you want to see how the game looks 2 months before the release, stay with us. In the meantime, or just after the show, don't forget to go to dl2.dyinglightgame.com and pre-order it.
Just to make sure you can enjoy Dying Light 2 Stay Human on release on the 4th of February, 2022. That's something I'm gonna do.
Me too, Jonah. Me too. So we're starting with some fantastic news. Dying Light 2 Stay Human is almost ready, and a while ago, some journalists and content creators from around the world had a chance to spend a few hours in front of their PCs or PS4s to play the latest version of the game.
I'm sorry, but I have to comment on this. I absolutely hate the fact that game companies do these preview events for content creators and allow them to upload it. It's not even a personal thing of, oh, I didn't get invited. It's a thing of they're spoiling the game for people, and I'm absolutely sick of people spoiling things. Like, I get if the game is already released and, you know, people don't have the money or time to play the game themselves, but if you're actively spoiling things like gameplay and all this for people who don't have the chance to play before the game has released, that needs to stop. It absolutely needs to stop, and I'm sick of it. Like, I don't care if I get early access because I pre-ordered something, or I didn't pre-order something and somebody else got early access. I hate the fact that I don't have the chance to play something because somebody else is shitty IGN or Polygon or whatever. Just, they don't understand the actual minds of people playing the games. And I'll say it first, I don't entirely understand everyone. There's some games that I absolutely love that people hate. Take Metal Gear Survive, for example. They're a very small community absolutely loves Metal Gear Survive. And I'm part of that community. A majority of people hate it. But then again, there are really popular games like, say, I don't know, let's go with, just put in any popular game, like Apex. Apex was fine for a little bit. Then I hated it. Fortnite's probably the best example. I absolutely hate Fortnite now. Millions of people love it. They play it every day. It's the best game ever to them. I fucking can't stand it anymore. For the first 3, maybe 4 seasons, it was fine. Can't stand it after that. Absolutely terrible. I had to rant about this real quick because I'm just sick of game companies not giving everyone the chance. Like what Elden Ring and From Software did with Elden Ring, where if you have a PS5, you have the chance of being able to play the network test. PC players never got that, and I understand why, because people would data mine the game. But Techland never put out an open demo for everyone to play. They just said, okay, here's a closed event, and here's some very specific news outlets, like, I'm guaranteeing IGN got access, even though they are fucking terrible at every game they seem to ever do. And they're just wrong with 90% of the things they do. You know, content creators on YouTube, I get it. I'm doing the exact same thing as they are. I'm so little because I got into this so late. And I don't expect to get big. I don't want to get big, honestly. I don't want this to be a job to me or anything. I want to do this when I can do it, and I want to enjoy it. But don't give people access that don't deserve access. And if you're going to give access, don't let them post any content on it. Like, I probably worded this really bad, but that's what I mean. You know, like, if you can understand what I'm talking about, I appreciate that. And, like, I'm not trying to say don't have people play test. Just, if you're going to give an event or something, just put out a very specific version of the game that can't be data mined. And then, there you go. Just don't make it up to, like, oh, hey, you know, this person nobody's ever heard of, we'll give them access. This person nobody's heard of, we'll give them access. But these huge people that everybody's heard of, that have never played a single game made by us, let's give them access and, you know, let's get their opinion on the game. And ruin it for the people who actually care about the game, have played our previous games, and understand what the direction we're going. Okay, I got it out of my system, I think. I'll mute myself now. We can continue the episode 5.
We held an event in the UK. I know, because I was there.
And in the US, where I was.
And there was also one in Russia.
Japan.
And of course, Poland.
Now, even though those countries are completely different, the outcome was exactly the same. People loved the game. Let's see what it looked like. Now, having seen that, we can't imagine not showing the game to you guys as well. Senior producer of Dying Light 2 Stay Human, Cornell Yaskler, will take us right into the city in a Dying Light 2 gameplay video like none other before. You ready?
Hey, Cornell.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. So, before we talk about the gameplay, which I know we're dying to get into, I want to talk about the preview events we've had. So, what did people who played the game for the very first time have to say about it?
Well, maybe, you know, it's not too humble for them to say, but they really love it. They love Dying Light to Stay Human. And after the events, they gave us really honest feedback about the game. And it's really, really helping us polishing the game at the very stage of the production.
I mean, yeah, because you've only got about 2 months now until final release. There's a lot of polishing to get done in a short amount of time.
And as someone who voices the main character in the game, do you guys know that?
Voice Ayden Caldwell.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty damn
No
sure.
idea.
I was also at the preview event in San Francisco, and I have with me a few quotes from the media and content creators, and they are overwhelmingly positive. Let's start. The parkour gameplay still is very unique and is implemented well into the open world design. Way to go. The action is intense, the scale of the world is impressive, and the feel of traversal is an overall improvement over what has come before, particularly in the way the game builds and expends momentum. And the characters seem like the real strong point, varied, engaging, and interesting. So way to go. Kudos to you guys.
Yeah, that is some
Great reviews.
fantastic feedback. I mean, congrats to you and the Dying Light 2 team.
Thank you.
So we are going to be seeing some gameplay here in just a second. Now, where are we going? What are we doing in the city?
So this quest takes place somewhere around 1/3 of the story. Ayden is trying to get more details about his missing sister, and he leaves Old Villadore and comes to the central loop when he's trying to get to the Fisheye Canteen.
Yeah. So what's the difference between Old Villadore and the central loop? Is there any difference?
There is. There are completely different settings. While Old Villadore is traditional, full of traditional buildings, this is the oldest part of the city. The central loop is full of skyscrapers, office buildings, so Ayden has to start using his paraglider. And of course, there are plenty of places connected to open world facilities.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I mean, aside from trying to get to the familiar Fisheye Canteen, what is our overarching goal for this quest?
It starts with a truly spectacular view, the city coming back to life. But then suddenly something goes wrong, and we need to help Lawan fix that. It's a great opportunity to see how the city alignment system works in more detail, to get a glimpse of a complex story and dynamics between the characters. But enough of me talking, and let's just watch the gameplay.
Damn it. I was wrong. Can't see shit. I really thought it'd work. We were fucking duped.
At least it's peaceful.
Yep. That's why I come here when I'm pissed off. So a lot, believe me. Look, Ayden, they're back on. They're fucking coming back on! You see that, Ayden? You see that? It's beautiful. Oh, I can't believe it. No, I just can't believe it.
Lawan, you seeing this?
Oh, I see it, Daniel. I'm at a lookout point, and it's quite the show.
How'd this happen? Dark as hell for 15 years, and suddenly this?
I don't know. But we need to find out.
Then drop by the canteen and let's talk. Been missing you like last year's snow loca.
While shotgunning beers and screwing bartenders.
You know me. It's a gift.
We'll meet you there, dumbass.
Something's wrong.
No. Oh, no. Fuck. What the hell's going on?
So that's the fisheye. Okay, how do we get there?
The fisheye's gotta wait.
Gotta wait, but why?
We need to check the substations. One's over there, level with the PK tower.
What about the fisheye?
Listen, I want to help you, and I will help. We'll do this together. But you have to understand, it's the first. It's been the same situation for over 10 years. 10 years of this fucking darkness. We gotta check this out.
How do we get to the substation?
It's an old paraglider. It'll help you get to places you normally can't reach. Just follow me.
Wait! Fuck. This paraglider, can it be made to fly faster?
Possibly. But that's something you should ask the crossmaster about. sliders? It used to be a Night Runner's favorite toy.
You a Night Runner?
Me? Night Runner? I wish.
Hey, you. Seen any signs of renegades around here?
No.
See, Private? Now calm down and let Aglot think.
What's there to think about? Why not head back to base?
Who the heck are you, anyway?
I'm someone offering to help. I'll check what happened to the power. You know anything else about it? That's top secret military information.
We're trying to figure out how to get up there.
Just go ahead and tell him everything, why don't you? Every last detail.
Well, what's the big secret, huh? We need to get this piece of shit working, that's what.
My colleague's vastly oversimplifying things, but his gist is correct. There are obvious signs of the electricity having returned, and this here appears to be a substation. It and others like it are capable of transmitting electricity throughout the city. We have orders to get this building functioning once more.
Meaning, turn it back on.
Unfortunately, without climbing equipment, access to it is severely limited.
I can climb up there without the equipment.
You'd be willing to do that? You'd be doing a great favor for the Peacekeeper.
Uniform! Techland! Electricity brings all light.
What was that he said?
I think it was something about his mother and a goat.
PK morons! We'll be taking that electricity. Thank you very much. Kill him. Here.
I would surmise the main circuit suffered a break. Find a cable and connect the source of power to the transmitter. That should restore the circuit.
Ayden, report in.
Yep, I'm on top of the substation, trying to connect the power to the transmitter.
It wasn't a piece of cake in here after all. Sure you're gonna
I met a
make it?
bunch of PKs who couldn't get to the substation themselves.
So that's why you haven't called me yet.
You should see them. Decide which one I like more.
You know that'll cost you, right?
Are you pissed at me?
Your choice. And I know why. But if it were me, I'm for the free folk all the way.
I don't understand.
There are a lot more substations.
I guess
If we could get them all going.
Can we first go to the fisheye and...
Yeah, sure. Let's meet in the canteen. I'll wait for you there.
You've heard. Fever, hurt, diarrhea? You're on your own, friend.
Bizarre
Pilgrim, take my advice. Leave this city.
Frank is one handsome fella. It's a shame he's such a booze out.
Well?
Frank! They slaughtered us, one by one, like fucking rabbits.
Frank? Frank, it's me. Wake up!
You? What the fuck you doing here? Interrupting my conversation with...
Ravik's been dead for years, Frank. Pull yourself together. You got a visitor.
And who's that? Queen of fucking England? I gotta act old Danny now?
This is Ayden. He has a GRE access key. Waltz used it to turn on the electricity in town.
Working GRE key? You're full of shit.
Show it to him.
Where'd you get it?
From one of Waltz's men.
So you one of Waltz's men too?
Hey, easy, Frank. Ayden is on our side. We think this contains data proving what they did to us in the hospital.
So you still believe you'll find out why Waltz fucked up your childhood? Okay, I'll tell you. Ready? Yeah, because he's a fucking psycho. He's fucked in the head. That's your Holy Grail and Ark of the Covenant all in one, Lawan. Happy? Ayden, right? You and Lawan can get the fuck out of my face now.
You hear that? Fuck, something's happening. Will you check? I'm right behind you.
I'm sure. I've seen them. Renegades in the Central Loop?
Nonsense.
To all units, renegades are in the central loop. I repeat, renegades are in the center. They're surrounding the fisheye. Can anyone hear me? Over.
Upper floor, by the stage. They put a cannon on a nearby building. To the east. Ayden, one more hit'll destroy the fisheye. Hurry!
Well, that was close.
Ayden, more renegades on the lower level.
Come on, mother.
there's a cannon on the roof to the west. Take that sucker out. Now! Boat! Another cannon to the south. Bastards want to blow up the fisheye.
Done.
They're inside the fisheye. They have Frank. They blocked the door. I can't get in.
Shit. All right, I'm on my way. All right, on three. 1, 2.
Drop him.
One move and he dies!
Drop him.
Ayden, what?
Wow. So there's a lot of story packed into that. So are people who haven't played Dying Light 1 gonna understand what's going on in Dying Light 2?
Of course, action in the city takes place more than 20 years after the original game. It's a completely new hero, completely new city, so we made sure about that. So people that haven't played the original game will still enjoy this one.
Okay, good.
All right, well, back to the gameplay. We
Right.
saw loads of really cool parkour and combat moves there. Pretty sure at one point we saw Ayden vaulting over his enemies.
Yeah, and I saw monkey bars, and at some point he was swinging on a rope.
There are many, many more. Twice as many as in Dying Light 1, to be specific. And did you notice some of the new combat moves?
Oh, yeah.
So we tackled an enemy, make them fall. There were ground pounds, perfect dodges, perfect tackles, and those are only examples of what you are able to do in the game. Not to mention the grappling hook or other tools that has its own special place inside the combat loop.
Right, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be excited about. You've got the paraglider, which
Yeah.
looks incredible, and then like the city alignment system.
Yeah, and weapon mods, and I don't know if it was just me, but I'm pretty sure Ayden was stronger and faster and more
Yes,
agile.
he did. As I said before, this quest takes place further in the story, so
Okay.
we've already acquired a paraglider.
Right.
We also develop our character enough to unlock new abilities on both skill trees dedicated to parkour and the combat. And it's up to you how you're going to spend those skill points. Is it going to be stronger Ayden or more agile Ayden in the end?
Right, of course, because I mean, we have skill trees in Dying Light 1, but I'm interested to see how those evolve and change in Dying Light 2.
Your game offers new possibilities for us, so we added plenty of new stuffs to the game, but of course we had a very strong base to begin with. We built on top of that, added even better parkour, better combat, complex story, and we mixed that with the unique setting of modern Dark Ages. Right.
Wow, thank you so much, Cornell, for
Thank
joining
you
us.
very much.
Thank you. And if you want to see more about the items, the things we've just mentioned here, then why not pre-order and play the game for yourself when it comes out on the 4th of February, 2022.
The old man got hit by a rock tied to a rope. It hit his head, causing him to fall to the ground. There was blood everywhere. Though in the dim light of the almost burnt-out fire, all there was darkness. He grabbed his head, one eye bloody. Troy was hit with yet another arrow, this time in the abdomen. Still he stood, though with every second weaker and weaker. They were helpless, and Alyssa knew it was her time to stand up for them.
Wait, what happens next?
I wouldn't want to spoil it for you. That was an excerpt from a submission to our UGC contest.
You guys are so talented. Please keep sending in your art, your cosplay, and your stories, and you might win some rewards.
And for you cosplayers out there, we posted guidelines so that you can cosplay the characters from Dying Light 2 even more accurately.
You'll find more at our website, dyinglightgame.com/contest, and if you find any of our official assets, you're welcome to cosplay the characters from those as well. So, go to the page and let your creativity flow.
We're waiting until January 10th, so please, make sure you submit.
Remember our Techland GG program? It's getting better and better. We've added something that will help you prepare for Dying Light 2 Stay Human now. In-game actions.
They're special achievements you activate on the website and complete in-game to get experience points and earn levels in the program. And new Techland GG levels mean rewards to claim in Dying Light, and soon, weapons in Dying Light 2 Stay Human, meaning you'll have a head start on exploring the city on release.
And because we made leveling and claiming goodies simpler and clearer for all of you, Techland GG is better than ever. Well, thank you for today, and we'll see you next time. I'm just gonna go back to my game now. That's all right. Bye.
Whoa, wait. I thought you were going to tell me why you were playing some sort of Wild West shooter. What was it?
Some sort of Wild West shooter. That was Call of Juarez, partner. And it's Techland's famous Western franchise. And it's a great moment to remind people about it, as well as other Techland games, since the company's celebrating the 30th anniversary.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, Techland!
Yay!
There's so many titles, I don't know where to start.
I mean, we've already mentioned Call of Juarez, so, I must say, traveling through the Wild West deserts and towns, shooting your way through and bound in blood, and hunting down legendary outlaws in Gunslinger really was something.
Oh, and remember Crime Cities? It's one of the first ones. Hard to believe it's already been 21 years since the release.
I mean, how can you forget? It's a classic.
Yeah, flying that car across that sci-fi city, that was so much fun.
I mean, and of course, we have to mention Dying Light. It's been almost 7 years since we first visited Haran, and there's still so much new stuff happening there. All the new updates, DLCs, events, and not to mention the Nintendo Switch port that got launched a few weeks ago. We're happy you can still enjoy everything to do with Dying Light 1, and kind of just want to go play it myself.
We will. We definitely will after the show. But first, isn't there some more surprises you're supposed to reveal?
Maybe. Yeah, to celebrate the 30th birthday, we partnered with GOG and Steam to let you grab some of our earlier games for free.
Head to GOG for your free copy of Crime Cities, and a week later, check Steam for Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
And remember to go to Techland GG, because Techland's 30th anniversary means we're having even more gifts and offers for you. For the next 2 weeks, all activities there will give you double experience points. So make sure you don't miss up that chance to level up faster. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching one of the Dying Light 2 Stay Human quests with us. And remember, it's just about 8 weeks now until release.
So make sure to wishlist the game or go to dl2.dyinglightgame.com and click pre-order to get your copy of Dying Light 2 Stay Human and a set of awesome exclusive skins.
I think that's all we've got to say. Remember to stay human, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, there is so much I'm excited for now, and I have to immediately go back to that city alignment thing. It was right there. Yep. Okay, so I'm super excited they showed something, and I'm glad they did. Oh my god. Fucking fangirling over this. Okay, so I love this. It's I guess it's Mass Effect like. I'm not a huge Mass Effect fan. I'm actually not really a fan at all. I'm not. I need to play the Mass Effect games because I had a bad experience when I was younger and I didn't really understand the games. Now that I'm 22 now and I'm not 12. Huge difference. So yeah, mouse is visible. So, assign to survivors, which Lawan has heavily sided against, or with, not against, sorry. Lawan is heavily assigned with survivors, but she understands why we went with the Peacekeepers for this single decision. Excuse me. So, each one has their rewards Airbags. Survivors place airbags in all the zones that they control. I'm assuming airbags are going to be... Oh, you know what? I think we've actually seen the airbags before in one of the... excuse me, I'm hiccuping all of a sudden. We've seen the airbags before, and one of the... I think it was actually the first gameplay video they showed, that Techland had showed us, where Ayden is running along, and then he jumps what I thought was a trampoline, but I think that's an airbag, actually. So yeah, that's probably it. Looking at some of these other icons down here. Let's see, it looks like... I can't tell what that is. Honestly, I would have no idea what that would be. So that's the airbags. That looks like a scarecrow of some kind, so maybe... I'd have to think healing with, like, food, or maybe, like, a tavern thing. 6 minutes health regen? Passive health regen or something? Fans, more fans in the city. So we saw some of those already, where Ayden jumped into the fans shooting air up because power's back onto the city for the most part. And he pulls out the paraglider and it shoots him up in the sky. This is like a second airbag upgrade where I'm assuming you get even more height and distance on it. And here's that symbol again. You know, the only thing I could think that these two would be is the paraglider, and I'm assuming that would be more horizontal movement with it, which could be good, actually. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so they each have 7 rewards. And the first one for the Peacekeepers, or PKs, is car traps. And is that going to be like the car traps from DL1? Where you hit a button, it goes beep, 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 boom. I could have made a joke there. Could have said click, click, boom. Then I could probably not put in post a click, click, boom song. See, the second one, I'm speculating. That looks like a harpoon to me or something. Like, honestly. Or maybe it's like you can shoot a zip line or something. That'd be cool. Electricity traps on the ground. That's the only thing I could think of for that. This one, crossbow. That's got to be a crossbow. Yeah, because here's the front curve of it. Here's the main body. Here's the bow part of it. So maybe you get like crossbow sentries at outposts that could help you take out infected at night, or renegades at daytime. These look like the spike wall things that you see scattered around everywhere in the first game, and a little bit here in the second game that they showed us. Third one, they've shown us this one, or not third one, sixth one. That was in another one of the gameplay videos they showed us, where the swinging barrels came down and just obliterated a group of infected. And then the final one looks like UV lamps, which, man, I wonder if all of this is for a singular part of the city, because there's no way, like, there's no way, like, you'd have to focus all on the Peacekeepers or all on the survivors, because, like, even if, let's say you met halfway, so you could get the health and then the electricity traps, or you could get the crossbow and whatever the scarecrow thing here is. And there was another thing. Yeah, I just want to appreciate the outside. Mute it. Turn off captions. The cannon, cool. Ooh, another thing. I like having the objectives here. They said objective updated. Oh, actually, there's one early in the video. I can't remember where exactly it was. It was part of a. Actually, I think it was right here. Or was it right before this? I can't remember. So yeah, this is the vent thing I was talking about. How Ayden gets the updrafts, and is he? This is a suit. He's got a special suit on. The office plaza, really enticing that parkour movement and everything. Oh, combat. That is another huge thing. It's really good looking. I love the fact that you can block melee attacks. Like, you might not be able to do it with the biters or infected, whatever you want to call them. But with the human enemies, that is something I really wish was in the first game. Was to be able to block human melee attacks. Another one criticism I do have with this video they showed us is that it all looks like it's in 30 FPS. And like I don't mean to be a PC elitist or anything, but I have been spoiled by having like 60 plus frame rate. Like I'd say like a solid 80 is necessary now for your games. Oh, did I just? Yep, right here. The Walking Dad. Sounds awfully familiar to something, doesn't it? Something of the year. Musical of the year. But yeah, it's something like it's stuff like that. That oh hey, it's clearly referencing The Walking Dead, or just like the oh my god, like I'm so in love with how the world looks. Like especially with the nighttime here, Lawan cheering because oh hey they got the power back on. You see the buildings light up, the things come back on. Hold on, what was that? That looks like an Aperture logo, or Abstergo, not Aperture, not. And you know, just like all this, like imagine just like you find like at the end of the game, you have all this lit up and everything. You've got lights everywhere in the city. It feels alive again instead of just being this awkward balance between life and death. Nothing's truly living. No, here, let me put it this: nothing's thriving, but everything's not dead. It's in that weird middle ground of the saw or the scales could tip either way. The infected could suddenly mutate and destroy us, and it wouldn't have to worry about the UV light anymore. Or it could go, humans rise up finally, and they fixed whatever's wrong with them, so they don't have to worry about UV light as much, and they could survive longer in the dark, maybe effectively not caring about not having the sun on them. But if they still go into a dark zone, it's a necessary thing, especially for gameplay. And you know, I loved like this whole thing was cool, especially with the cannons shooting at the fisheye. I think it was called. Yeah, defend the fisheye. The cannons, that could maybe that was one of the things that the PKs had to be unlocked. All the parkour moves that are in the combat was really cool. Like, dude, this reinforces my belief in this game even more, and I'm glad for that. Thank you, Techland. I wish I would have known about the 30th anniversary stuff. I could have gotten some free games. Oh wow, we're already 2 hours into this, and I've still got 7 videos to go through. Okay. Jonah Scott, when he read that poem at the end, he sounded a lot like what was his name? Brian Hanford, who voiced V in Devil May Cry 5. Fuck, that reminds me, I gotta get Devil May Cry put out. Okay. That'll go up after this, so. Um. Oh well, let's just get into this.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Dying to Know More. Today we are going to talk with someone very special. Ayden, are you ready to say hello to Dying Light 2 fans?
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. My name is Jonas Scott, and I voice Ayden Caldwell in Dying Light 2.
Hello, Jonah.
Hi.
I am very curious, how is it to play such a role in a video game? Is it a challenge for you or just a normal job?
Well, I think this is a little bit more than a normal job for me. I've been Ayden for about 5 years almost at this point. I played him originally as a scratch track, a temporary vocal track for the real actor to go in and then listen to timing to get cutscenes and things like that for localization purposes. But over the years, they just kept asking me to come back and voicing more tiny other things. And I had to sit for a little while not knowing whether or not I would be Ayden. And then eventually they were just like, yeah, we thought you knew. We thought you were going to come back and do the real thing. So here I am, honored and humbled to voice Ayden in Dying Light 2. It's a dream come true.
Yeah, we are also honored that you are the voice of Ayden Caldwell. And how about the script? Is it long?
Yeah, oh yeah, in a word, yes, very, very long. When we do video games, we do them in an Excel spreadsheet. It's not like a traditional script, like a movie script. And because of that, the place where we recorded has a tracker at the top of the Excel spreadsheet. And the tracker had the max number of lines that I had, and that would keep getting bigger as the script kept improving and getting more and more reviews on it. But I think at the most point, it was like 50,000 lines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a lot, and I can't imagine how many that the other actors have, like Rosario Dawson. They also would have just as much, if not more lines than I would, because a lot of mine are just grunting and jumping and running and things like that. But yeah, the script itself is very long, very long. It was a good gamification of the video game script that we could, as I would do lines, we could see it be ticked off and see us making progress throughout the script. It was fantastic.
And is there any place for improvisation?
Oh, lots. I was able to put in a lot of pre and post life because a lot of the lines themselves are wild, which means that I didn't have any timing or anything like that. I could go as long or as short as I wanted with the line. I could breathe through it. I could take pauses. I could stumble. I could really make it feel lived in and real. And that is something that I've been looking forward to doing my entire career. And it was a really, really great opportunity for me. I had the most fun I've ever had performing, honestly.
And how do you prepare yourself for the role? For example, Ayden is jumping, running, fighting, and talking at the same time. Do you have any special technique?
Well, preparing, obviously besides standard warm-ups and things, I would sing. One of my favorite things to do when I would warm up is I would listen to the Beastie Boys on the way to the studio, and I would kind of rap along with that. But actually preparing and doing running and jumping and parkour and things like that, I would actually do that in the booth. It wouldn't be the full movement, obviously. We have like a 10 by 10 booth. But I would breathe through my lines. I would make sure that everything felt natural and real. And if I was choking somebody in a cutscene, I was actually had my hands out there choking the imaginary person, or I would move around. I would move as I was on, let's say, on camera, but nobody would be able to see what's going on. So it has the movement. You can hear it in the voice. It's nice and real, natural, and cinematic and grounded. Beyond preparing, you just got to breathe, make sure everything sounds natural, and make sure it's good, because I'm going to make a game that I want to play.
Very interesting. And you are also known from anime roles.
Yeah.
What is the difference between video games and anime?
Well, in anime, it's animated, so everything is just a little bit more over the top. It's a little bit bigger. But here, I was able to take a lot of really grounded cinematic reads. I was able to dial it back a lot and make it so that he felt like a movie character. He felt like a film character. And especially the way it's mic'd, everything is very close. So there are even lines where Ayden is talking to himself, and it's almost whispered, it's hushed, and you really feel like you're in Ayden's head for a lot of it. And it's incredible. I had so much fun making sure that everything sounded real and grounded and filmic.
And do you have any dream role that you would like to play?
Oh, there's plenty in fiction. I have dozens of characters that I would love to play, but Ayden is very special because it's an archetype that I wanted to play. The first-person action RPG protagonist. I'm inspired by a lot of other American voice actors that I really look up to, like Matthew Mercer and Roger Craig Smith. They're inspirations for me. And beyond wanting to impress them, I want to make sure the fans get what they want. Because I'm a fan of the game myself. It was the first game I played when I moved to LA. I got the audition and I was floored. I want to make sure that I'm a streamer too. So I want to make sure this is a game I want to play, especially on stream or even privately in my own home. I want to make sure that this is something I want to keep going back to. I want to make sure that this is a game that I want to play. I want to make sure that Ayden is a character that is likable, that is lovable. So yeah, definitely.
And speaking about Ayden, aren't you tired of him? Do you still like him?
Oh, not at all. Ayden is a fun character in that when we were making the character initially, because I've been this character for almost 5 years, he's gone through a lot of variations. And the first thing we were trying was this whole Spider-Man kind of like fun, quippy character. But the story itself is very serious. It's very grounded. It's very real and gritty. So we came back and we reassessed. We're like, how do we make this character moving forward? He can't be too fun, but we still want to make sure that he has a lighter side because the story is so dark. So instead, we went with a more Nightwing archetype, where this guy is very gritty, he's very down to earth, and he's very real and pragmatic. But he has a fun side too, and you're able to hear that in a lot of dialogues. You're able to hear that in a lot of like a lot of his parkour has a lot of quips in it and things like that. So he has a lot of fun parkouring. He definitely enjoys what he does, and that's how we were able to kind of lighten him up a bit and make him very likable and very fun to perform. So no, I'm not tired of him at all.
Cool. And my last question, how is it to hear yourself in a video game?
In a word, surreal. I've never really heard it. I've heard my voice in video games before, but it's never been to this extent where I just keep talking, right? Usually I'm waiting for another character to interrupt me, but it's like Ayden speaks a lot and he does a lot of efforts and there's a lot of parkour and every grunt, every breath, every sound that you make is me. And sitting down to play the game, I would be frozen a lot in disbelief because it's just like, I almost cry because this is the dream come true for me. And sitting down to see it all come to fruition, thousands of people's thousands of hours working together on this one game to come out, and it's actually happening. It's so surreal to hear my voice in that capacity, and I'm honored and humbled, and I want to thank everybody for letting me be involved.
Thank you, Jonah. And as I said, we couldn't imagine better voice for Ayden Caldwell.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me today, and thank you all for watching us. See you soon.
Woo. Jonah Scott. I like him. He seems like he seems the kind of guy I would hang out. He's like me and my friends. Very reserved in the way he talks, but when he relaxes, it's gonna be, he's gonna be really fun to be with and everything. Although I will say I do miss Roger Craig Smith, I believe, is the voice actor for Crane. Kyle Crane voice actor. That was not what I said. Shut up, Google. Kyle Crane. Yeah, Roger Craig Smith. Yeah. He did Apex Legends Mirage, Sonic, and the Sonic Boom TV show, I think. And I think he's also the main voice of Sonic for the games now. But not having him back as a voice actor is kind of sad. But then again, Kyle Crane's story did end in Haran. Haran. So it's kind of sad to not have him back and all that, but oh well. But I'm 5 years, by the way. Jonah has been doing Ayden Caldwell. Impressive, honestly, in my eyes. I mean, I'm just a idiot who plays video games. Oh, cinematic trailer. Neat. Let's drop that down to 1080. I'm not gonna mute for this one. I'm just gonna keep talking. Ooh, breaking through the window. Looks like a Night Runner. Maybe Ayden? That's a viral. Ooh, that's
What the? Shit! You bastard!
one of the new affected. Ooh. Wow.
Wait for me.
Oh my god. Holy shit, that was not the direction I thought I was going. That was dark as shit. Huh. Wow. Huh. I don't know what to say, actually. I'm dumbfounded from that. Let me go ahead and check real quick. Yeah, I gotta have this at like 1080p, because OBS is shitting itself from encoding. Sorry. No, I speak English. I'm teaching myself Russian. Yeah, just dude, wow. The cinematic trailer. Like, I'm over here playing hockey, and somebody just threw a football at me, and they got a strike in bowling. That's how that hit me. Like, that is not at all what I thought was happening. Wow. Okay, so back on normal course. That was a great trailer. Whoa. Well, okay, so I'm gonna mute again. We're gonna watch, and then we're gonna talk. The UI design and all that, I believe that's what it is. The UX is like user interface and all that. The HUD, I don't specifically know, but that's what I believe it is.
Hello everyone, welcome to this holiday scenery of the next episode of Dying to Know More. Recently, you flooded us with thousands of comments about one thing, health bars. So today, together with my guests, we will talk more about user interface and experience of Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Hello, Agata.
Hello.
Are you ready to reveal some secrets?
Sure, but to be honest, there are not that many secrets there. User experience is all about finding the balance between maximizing the fun that game is giving to the players, but also making it more immersive, especially when it comes to first-person gameplay.
Okay, so can you tell us more about it? So what is your main goal in creating user interface in Dying Light 2 Stay Human?
When we are creating UI, the most important thing for us is to make this game as easy as possible to understand for the players. And this is why we gathered thousands of hours of recording for the playtest and gigabytes of data to help us find this perfect mix.
And how do you do that?
It is challenging, of course, but after analyzing all of those data, we find different profiles of our gamers. For example, there are those players who are more experienced in action games. For them, they prefer more immersive experience, so they would like to turn off every possible HUD elements. But on the other hand, there are also those players that love information. And for them, every possible option that can be turned on is more informative. Those players come mostly from, let's say, MMO or RPG-driven backgrounds. They love to have every possible widget turned on the HUD to see what's the progress of their quest or what's the enemy health bar is.
Okay, and what about players' skill level?
We also have less skilled player, and during the playtest, then they enjoyed and even asked us for any additional help that UI can provide them. The most important thing that we need to think about everyone.
And how do you find the balance between all these needs? I don't think that there's a one profile that fits all the players.
No, there isn't. That's why it is really important for us to give some option to the player, the possibility to customize their HUD, but in doing that, also their experience.
So can you give us an example of this customization?
Health bars, for example. Yeah, you don't want them? No problem. We won't force you to use it. And this is a message to everyone that was concerned about it. You will be possible to just switch it off.
Oh, that's cool. I read a lot of comments about that.
Yes, and we also read almost all of them.
So if I am a player who focuses on immersive gameplay, will I be able to switch off all of the unnecessary elements that I don't like?
Yes, we are trying to make the UI and HUD the most adjustable to your needs. And this is also really important in case of accessibility. You know, Dying Light 2 Stay Human is a very dynamic game with dynamic gameplay, dynamic music, and of course, some elements of the HUD also needed to be dynamic, like, for example, quest log. And for some players, it's really cool to have all of those dynamic and immersive elements turned on. The other would prefer to just have the static element of the HUD.
And you said dynamic quest log. What is that?
For example, this quest log is shown only when you are inside the area that this specific quest is going on, or you are doing some specific action connected to this particular quest. But of course, if you feel the need to see some more information about it, you can simply hold the button and the quest log will appear on the screen.
Okay, so all of the actions that are happening around me in my gameplay also will be reflected on the screen.
Yes, and this is exactly why we need to test everything many times with many different people. Even the latest preview events give us some data about it, and after analyzing this, we find out that sometimes less is more.
What do you mean?
Well, there is this one person, a content creator. After his preview session, he made a video that's showing how cool and great he is while parkouring. So on this gameplay, he's doing one combo after another, and this small widget that is popping up on the screen while you're gaining parkour experience point on this video is visible all the time for almost 3 minutes when he was tracking one combo after another. It was insane.
Okay, so what does it tell you from the user experience perspective?
It's telling me that this element, however really rewarding for some players, it's just another boring HUD notification for another. Well, I mean, this element is really great, you know, because it was created with our audio team to be aligned with dynamic music that we have in-game. But after this preview, we decided to do some changes in that. What I want to say is that UI needs to be useful and clear for everybody. Everyone needs to feel at home, like everything is in the right place on their screen.
Okay, got it. So give me 3 elements of the perfect UI.
Only 3? Okay, no problem. So let's see. The first one I've already told you. It's the customization and possibility to adjust the experience to what you need. The second one, I would say the UI should be familiar. It's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about showing to the players those things that are important for them and that are understandable for them.
And the last one?
Well, the last one, never assume that the players are as familiar as the game as we are. You know, while working on the game and developing it, we spent thousands of hours playing our game, so some of the features are really easy and obvious for us. It's not like that for all of the players.
Okay, so I can see that even if the work on the game is finished, your job never ends.
Yes, because every comment is really important for us. And we are really listening to our community, as we did with the health bars. every comment is important, even and especially after the release. Because, let's see, right now the game was tested by hundreds, maybe thousands of players, but after the release we will hear from millions of them. And there might be some conflicting opinion.
Oh, I see. So how far can you go with compromising it?
Far, but not too far. You know, when we are receiving some conflicting opinion, the thing that we need to look for is not to sacrifice our game design vision. But don't worry, we have our ways to do that.
Okay, so I'm not. But you've mentioned before accessibility. Are there any options in Dying Light to stay human?
Absolutely. Dying Light 2 is complex, open-world, first-person RPG games. That means some limitation, but we really want to make it accessible for people with disabilities.
Okay, I see.
We do that by listening to people and analyzing their behaviors. This is what's really important to me and in user experience itself, that it should really suit the people.
Can you give us any examples of accessibility in Dying Light 2?
Sure. For example, we have some option to customize the visuals of the dialogue, so the size of the text, background color, or the color of the speaker names for those with visual and hearing disabilities. There's also possibility to switch between tapping to holding the button for quick time events for those with motion disability. And we also add a couple of profiles for color blindness people, but we are still exploring this area.
Okay, but what about, for example, left-handed people?
Oh yes, we are going to have a special control profile for left-handed people too. And once the Dying Light fans starts playing and sharing their experience, we are planning to add even more. We can't wait to hear their feedback.
Okay, thank you, Agata. You shared a lot of information with us.
Thanks, Paulina, for having me here.
And as always, thank you very much for watching us today. And remember that Dying Light to Stay Human will be released really soon. So don't forget to pre-order it at preorder.dyinglightgame.com. See you soon, happy holidays, and remember to stay human.
Oh, okay. So one of the things I gotta get off my chest with this, the whole time I'm like every time Agata is on screen, all I can think of is the lady that goes patriarchy. But no, she seems like a really cool person. I'm just being mean. Oh god, it's creepy. Why did I land on that one? She talked about a lot of user experience, which is the UX part, because I'm dumb and I didn't realize that. If anything, I would say a completely customizable, quote-unquote customizable UI for players. Let them turn on and off what they want, and just leave it at that. So, like, okay, like, one of the things I hated about Dying Light 1, especially nowadays, is that I always have a quest in the corner of my screen under the minimap. That's annoying to me, because sometimes I just want that minimap off, I want the quests gone, but I don't want to turn off my whole HUD because I still want to see how much health I have. And, you know, I want to be able to see what weapons and gear I'm selecting. And it's, you know, it's a win, it's a lose-lose situation for them. Excuse me. Because on one hand, you have, congratulations, we have a fully customizable UI. You can customize it exactly how you want, and the players will love that. On the opposite side with that, the dev team's gonna kill themselves for doing this. Because it's so much work. But if we don't cater to the players, it's annoying for them, and then it's... Get that shit off my screen. There we go. It's you know, it's a damned if we do, damned if we don't kind of thing. And yeah, it's a hard place for them to be. And I gotta say, all the devs kind of look tired, like they've poured their heart and soul into this, and I'm really hoping that shows through in the game. And I gotta say, what they've showed, I am in love with. Let's see, 4K RTX presentation, except we're in 1080p with this. 46 seconds. Okay, I'm not gonna mute. RTX on. The windmill, they mentioned that. Fountain. Oh, a tank? Hold on, that didn't look right to me. That looks awfully unrendered. And it's probably the settings they have. Which, you know, I'm glad they're at least showing this. Infected, we got your, you know... I'm glad the environment feels alive. That is one of the big things for me. Paraglide. Wall running. Whoa. I'm going to be honest, I'm not looking for ray tracing or anything like that. I'm looking for the game to look as good as possible with as much frame rate as possible. And that's probably going to be a lot difficult, or like really difficult, especially for me. You don't need to know anything. Let's see. Will be enhanced with DLSS, which is good. Because I believe that really increases frame rate and everything, from what I know. Let's see, ray trace, global illumination, not necessary for me. I think ray tracing's a neat idea, but it's dumb because unless you have like a 3090 or something, you're gonna be below 60 frames. Don't care about anything ray traced, so DLSS is really the only thing in it for me. And with NVIDIA graphics cards, I don't know if this is for any other graphics card, but there is NIS, as it appears on the top left of the screen when you're playing a game. And if you turn down the in-game resolution, it will scale up everything to your monitor's resolution. And it looks like it still looks good. And you can have the settings at higher while also having a higher frame rate. Recently, I got Jedi Fallen Order through Twitch Prime and all that for the free games they give out occasionally. And I was struggling for 1920 by 1080 as my monitor resolution, which is native. And, you know, I probably shouldn't optimize through GeForce Experience, but I haven't yet for some reason. And, you know, I couldn't figure out why can't I hit like a solid 60 frames on this game? Because that's really all I ask for is a solid 60. You know, anything above 60, excellent. But if it goes below 60, that's where I have a problem with it, because then I might as well just play console. God, I am a PC elitist now. Ooh, another good one. I'm not gonna mute for this one either. Skill trees. Let's see. Combat. What are they gonna show us? Block charge. Okay, so they showed us this one with infected. Let's look at the standard perfect parry at the last one to stagger an enemy. Cool. Excuse me. Fuck. At the Dark Souls player, and I absolutely love Dark Souls, by the way. I'll definitely master this as much as I can. Ground Pound. This is a cool skill, especially for dispersing groups of enemies, which will be really good for multiplayer. Let's see, Parkour. Looks like stealth is an aspect, maybe? Use any obstacle to spring from it and jump further. Cool. What was that? Far jump, I believe it was called? Yeah, far jump. Let's see, what's the next one they're going to show us? It is called Bash. Bash through obstacles and enemies. Yep, okay, that was in the first game. Kind of late, or can you just unlock it all from the beginning? Tic Tac, run alongside horizontal first. Okay, so this is where we're really getting to Mirror's Edge territory. And that's definitely going to be the first parkour skill I unlock. If I can. So just to look at the trees together, I believe it was in the beginning. So it looks like we have, I don't even know what that would be. Just vault or something. Like, you probably just start out with that, and then no. So I don't know what Techland's thinking. This one right here, it looks like stealth of some sort. This one is more about aerial movement, getting as far as possible. I believe that one was far jump. This one looks like running speed, getting up to speed quicker. Oh, this one has got to be the I guess it is the vaulting from first Dying Light, where you can jump off the infected or enemies. And this one might be landing on them, and then you do like a move or something. So the wall running, this one's going to be going back and forth between the walls, which I find that odd that they wouldn't just keep that together. Detection, something here. This looks like running up the side of a wall or something to get higher. You won't be detected or something as much. That's sliding. Oh, more stamina. This is what this has got to be for climbing up the upsides of buildings. Okay, there we go. Bow skills, crossbow maybe. Probably just normal bow. Weapon ready speed or something. Kicking enemies. Interesting. Also, this is the Ultimate Edition outfit, I believe. Or maybe an outfit you can unlock. Okay, Dying to Know episode 6. Cool. Let's go ahead and jump into this then.
All right, Leia. So, what do we got for today?
Well, I've got good news and I've got bad news. Which do you want first?
Bad news.
Well, the bad news is this is the last episode of Dying to Know.
Then what's the good news?
Well, the good news is this is the last episode of Dying to Know before the game releases, which is pretty soon.
Yeah, it's February 4th, 2022.
February the 4th. Millions of people are waiting very excitedly for the release, including ourselves.
Yeah, thank you for being patient, guys, really. February is coming quickly, but meanwhile...
We've got a whole Dying to Know show to get on with, and it's going to be a special one. We've got special guest, we've got special information about Techland GG,
And we have a launch trailer, which will give you one final glimpse of the game before it gets released. You guys know the drill, right? Stay...
human!
With us. Beginning of the show, we stay with us.
Let's check and see.
Aw. Can't believe it's the final episode already.
Yep.
It's gone so quickly. Do you remember the first episode of Dying to Know?
Yeah, I think it started with, Ayden standing on that table.
I'm a pilgrim, an outcast, roaming like a Japanese Ronin or an Old West desperado. My past is dark, but my future has a tiny, dying light at the end of this tunnel.
Hello, guys. My name is Jonas Scott, and I voice Ayden Caldwell in Dying Light 2. But before that, I'm gonna host this program with Leia.
Aw, look at your little costume. It's like the real Ayden Caldwell was just standing in front of me.
Right, and speaking of costumes, you remember our UGC contest, right? Now, the deadline for that was January 10th, so you won't really be able to submit anything now. But soon, you'll be able to see the finalists for each category, including fan art, cosplay, and story. Those finalists will be available next week, and you can check them out on our contest website or on Techland GG's hub. Finding finalists for each of those categories was incredibly difficult because you guys sent us some really awesome stuff.
And here's a sneak peek at some of the best works.
Hi everyone, my name is Irina Meyer and I'm one of the jury members of Dying Light 2 cosplay contest, and I'm very excited and I'm very honored to be part of such an amazing and interesting project. And I saw some of our participants and I have to say that some of these works are really amazing. Very, very soon we will announce you the final results, so keep your eyes peeled. keep yourself warm, and don't forget to stay human.
So somebody asked me the other day if you can play Dying Light 2 Stay Human in co-op, and guess what I said?
I'm guessing you said yes.
Absolutely, because not only can you play Dying Light 2 Stay Human in co-op, you can also finish the game in co-op, which is impressive.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And,
That's fantastic news.
Exactly, and not only that, but I mean, if I'm the host and my friends come in as guests to my session, they get to keep their items and their player progression and all of that, but they're just kind of in my narrative story, right? So I'm hosting the story for them. But guess what?
What?
There's also the element of choice and consequence, because
big.
Right, what would Dying Light 2 be without choice and consequence, right? So, you know, if we come to a narrative fork in the road and there's a choice to be made that's going to change the outcome of the story, everyone gets to vote on it. Everybody in the game.
Oh, that's neat.
Right, and the host gets the final say in where you end up. So everyone gets to
democracy has come to the city.
Absolutely, it has. It sounds amazing. I can't wait to, like, jump in with my friends and watch them do some sick parkour and, I don't know, murder some monsters with baseball bats and decide the fate of Ayden Caldwell single-handedly.
February 4th. Leah, all that's going to happen on February 4th, I promise.
February 4th.
We'd once again like to thank you all for your overwhelmingly positive response to Techland GG.
That's right, we have been delighted with the response to the quest we've added to Techland GG. So much so that we are still adding more, and there are now over 50 quests for you to check out, so go find them all. And what else is new?
Well, we've completely overhauled the player profile, we've added a few new awards, and we've brought something very special back. The I Am the Cure Banshee comic is now available once again for everyone.
That's right, so go to Techland GG and try and win all of the Dying Light 2 prizes to give yourself a head start before the launch. Good luck. February 4th is coming soon, and the game is ready to be released on all platforms. How can we be so sure? Well, thanks to the confidence that you have given us, all of you currently watching and those who attended the preview events. See for yourself.
I fucking knew Polygon was there. Games Radar. I dare you show me IGN. I've never heard of half these people. I've actually not heard of any of these people. Okay, back to being muted.
Throughout the past 5 episodes, we've been showing you what the game looks like. And I think we can agree it looks incredible. But
Real question is, how's the game gonna look on your screen in your home? Let's take a quick look at a platform comparison video put together by a few of the devs.
Not bad.
I wonder how it feels. You know, you work on a big, complex game for years, and then suddenly one day, bam, it's done. What do you think? How do you think the devs feel? Joy, because it's finally finished? Or sadness, because it's finally finished?
good question. We spoke to a few of them to find out. Watch this emotional video full of passion, sacrifice, and longing. Because even though Techland have promised that Dying Light 2 Stay Human will be supported just as strongly as the first, For these devs, it's still the end of an era.
And we are here in the Frank's Canteen. It's a place from our game, but in the real life in our company. Super cool. But jump to beginning. We wanna create a game when you decide something and you change the world, change environment, change level design, because we are level designers and that was our point.
It was something that we did a lot of times when we need to figure out something. It's good to create a prototype. So we did one, but this time it was a micro version of our whole game world, and I placed it way up into the sky.
Yeah, but it's no longer there. Peter deleted and you can't find it. But you can find a lot of super cool stuff that we hide in the, you know, places everywhere on the huge map. I believe you will get a lot of fun to find it.
My name is Szymon, and I am one of the senior producers working on Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Today, we are at the mock-up room when we are capturing movement of our characters. Speaking of which, I remember the times when I read the script for the first time, and it came to me how big of a story it is. I've been counting characters that we need to produce, and it came to conclusion that we've got over 600 of them which are actually speaking in game. And if you will add the ones which are not speaking, we ended up with 1,300. So this is like really like amazing, big story that we've got and prepared for you. So hopefully you will enjoy it.
Working on such a big and complex project is all about the people. Together with gameplay team, with animators, gameplay programmers, and QA, we are working on delivering the best experience in parkour, combat, and all the open world mechanics you will discover soon in the game.
Something that people loved about Dying Light 1 was parkour, and that was fighting with zombies. In Dying Light 2, we've managed to combine parkour and combat into one thing. And I think you guys are gonna love it. We've been playing for some time and we really enjoy it. But I really envy you that you're gonna experience it for the first time with your fresh eyes.
But Dying Light 2 is not only about graphics. We also wanted to secure very strongly audio side. We've been planning to do full orchestra to record our soundtrack. And we wanted to have all the sections, you know, we wanted to do it in Abbey Roads when the Beatles like been recording their albums. But then pandemic kicked in and we needed to do it online and revise our plans. So we got this high-end tech with zero lag just to be able to stream the whole thing for the whole company. And it was super exciting. It boosts morale of everybody. And we've been watching it in the evening, seeing how it's being born.
We hope and we know that you will find a lot of emotions inside. You're gonna find them all. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna be scared. And I'm sure as well that you're gonna spend long hours playing the game when it's out on February 4th.
And we are here after all of that 6 years, over 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years of hard work, a lot of experiments. We learned a lot.
Yeah, pain, fun pain.
There's a lot of emotions, but at the end, I think we're really, really proud of what we achieved, and we hope you will have fun playing Dying Light Stay Human.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
bye guys, and stay human.
Wow.
Yeah?
What a great team.
Yeah, right?
I was quite emotional watching that.
You gonna be okay?
Almost.
You gonna be all right?
I said almost.
Okay. You know, Leah, before I got asked to host Dying to Know, before I was even cast as Ayden, I was a huge fan of Dying Light, still am. I have over 1,000 hours in the game. And you wanna know what my favorite part of Dying Light is?
Okay, all right, let me guess.
Okay.
The open world.
No.
Okay. The parkour.
It's very good, but no.
Okay. The combat.
No.
The monsters.
No, okay, yes to all of that. But my absolute favorite part of Dying Light is the community. And I'm not just talking about the 100,000, hundreds of thousands of people who play Dying Light to this day, daily. I'm talking about the community on Twitter. I'm talking about the community on Twitch, on Discord. You know who you are. You guys have supported Techland in an over 6+ year development. And for that, we can't thank y'all enough. So right here, what we're doing right now, is for you. Thank you so much.
See that, Ayden? You see that? It's beautiful. Oh, I can't believe it. No, I just can't believe it.
In every episode of Dying to Know, we've shown you some exclusive gameplay, and this episode will be no different.
But before we get into the city, I'd like to remind you of somebody who's already there waiting for you. Lawan, played by Rosario Dawson.
If you'd like to see Rosario talking about her role in Dying Light 2 Stay Human, then check out our YouTube channel, where she talks about her role as Lawan.
Hi, I'm Rosario Dawson. You will know me as Lawan, who is fighting her past and looking to seek revenge on the people who wronged her.
Before you watch the YouTube, make sure to stay here and check out what Lawan has put together for us.
It's new exclusive content for all those who've pre-ordered the game as well. The Reach for the Sky exclusive digital content pack is created in collaboration with Rosario Dawson and includes a unique outfit, a paraglider skin, weapon skin, and backpack.
Yeah, that's right. It includes a crossbow skin for Lawan, a paraglider and backpack skin for Lawan and Ayden, and a full new outfit for Lawan. So remember to pre-order the game and, as the name suggests, reach for the sky.
It's become tradition by now that every episode of Dying to Know comes with its own gameplay video.
And today will be no different. You'll get your gameplay trailer, but on today's gameplay trailer, it's going to be a little bit something special. We're going to be recapping all of the distinctive elements in Dying Light 2 Stay Human.
So let's explore the vast open world. Let's go and meet the monsters roaming in the city streets below and see how everyone's surviving up on the rooftops.
Yeah, for the last time before the game premiere, we're going to give you a close look at Dying Light 2 Stay Human so that on February 4th, 2022, you can get in the city and
fight to survive in this post-apocalyptic horror game.
Don't screw up the password again. This time, we'll blow your head off.
Sweet. Love you too.
You better get it right. Now listen, Steve, don't try to warn anyone I'm here.
Rainer said you were a pilgrim.
None of your business.
You think your barking will make an impression on me?
Did you know a girl named Mia?
Mia? No. Who's Mia?
She's my sister.
Promise you'll never leave me alone here. Never.
I won't leave you.
Swear.
I don't have to.
Not him, no!
A long time ago, Waltz hurt her. He took her from me. And I want him to tell me where she is.
Well, that kind of information is expensive. Maybe I can help you. Welcome to paradise.
Look around, Ayden. What do you see?
Something people outside the walls could only dream of.
Who would have thought the end of the world would be so peaceful? I wish Crane could have seen this.
Lawan, it's not a sign of weakness to say you were worried.
Death is how we thank traitors. You didn't say you were working for Ayden.
I don't work for Ayden, I work for myself.
Here we're all infected.
So are you scared of him?
Most people are.
Those who are weak just give up.
Keep them busy.
They stop caring about anything. Give up on life, but you still care.
Drop him. One move and he dies. Drop him.
You're no leader, Carl.
On behalf of all its whores, bandits, and idiots, I christen you a citizen of Villadore.
And in the name of law, you're sentenced to death for treason.
I know what loss is like.
Talking about someone in particular?
She trusted you, and you failed her. I'll be okay.
You'll pay for that.
3 against 1? I like those odds.
Count again.
Sometimes you have to become a monster to stay human.
You tortured us! You were hurting me!
Nothing could ever tear us apart anyway.
Fuck the plan. We don't know what's up there. You understand nothing.
A little boy wants to pretend he's a grown-up. A precious little boy.
Well, that was intense.
Yep.
I can't wait to play this game again.
This is the end of our show, but we still have one more thing.
Yeah, our special guest.
Without whom we wouldn't be here today.
Without whom there would be no Ayden Caldwell.
There'd be no vast open city to explore.
Or cool parkour tricks to pull off.
Or creative and brutal combat.
Yeah, the combat.
Or there would be no monsters roaming the city at night to terrorize us.
Or humans who are just as dangerous during the day. The characters, the dialogue, the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, our final special guest are all the people who worked on Dying Light 2 Stay Human. And we asked them all one simple question.
What are you most proud of working on Dying Light 2?
Hi, we're the CQA team and we're most proud of reaching the gold status with Dying Light 2 Stay Human.
I'm proud of all the gameplays and trailers I've made for Dying Light 2.
The English translation of the dialogue.
Iconography that has been created for user interface.
Being the host of Dying to Know More series.
How good level design we achieve. Molotov cocktails and other explosives. Because who doesn't like to blow things up?
I'm most proud of the videos that we are making the whole team for you guys.
I'm proud that I got to lend my voice to Ayden Caldwell in Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Dream come true, thank you.
And I'm proud that I got to co-host Dying to Know alongside Jonah and get to know all of you and the dev team. It's been amazing, so thank you.
Somewhere on the map, one city is still standing. A city isolated from the outside world. A city with special rules. Now, it's the last bastion of humanity. A chance for us to learn from history. And for once, make the right choices. Because every choice you make here shapes the future. Irreversibly.
Oh, you're kidding. That's the end of it. Oh, that was a good episode. And sadly, the final one. But we have one more thing. I didn't really feel like that was a gameplay preview. That was more like a trailer that they showed us. I appreciate the fact of the reason. Yeah, that's the reason gameplay. That didn't feel like it was gameplay. That felt like a trailer. But the Banshee, oh my god, that's gonna be terrifying to see at night. God, I can't wait for this game. Oh, so you know what? Since this is the last Dying episode, I will go ahead and mention I am streaming this as soon as I can. I will stay up for a full 24 hours so I can play this as much as I can. I have waited as long as is possible for this game. I have played Dying Light probably over 1,000 hours, at least. I played it on, let's see, what's this? I believe it was on PS3. Let's see. Really? Dying Light was only on the PS4? I could have swore it was on PS3. Huh. So PS4 for God knows how many hours. I saw there has to be a solid 1,000 hours alone on my PS4 for Dying Light. I'm gonna order more RAM. It just, ugh. I literally spent an entire summer in high school playing nothing but Dying Light. And oh my god, those times, I can't wait to relive them. And I hope one of my friends, unsaved, he has, his computer can run Dying Light too, because it's not going to be the same without him. And it's just going to be so fucking good. Oh, God, I'm super excited. But let's watch. This is the Reason official gameplay trailer. Okay, I might as well go ahead and watch it. I'm not gonna mute. Yes.
Don't screw up the password again. This time, we'll blow your head off.
They showed us this in the gameplay trailer.
Now listen, Steve. Don't try to warn anyone I'm here.
Rainer said you were a pilgrim.
None of your business.
You think your barking will make an impression on me?
I want to
Did you
kill
know
him.
a girl named Mia?
Mia? No. Who's Mia?
She's my sister.
Promise you'll never leave me alone here. Never.
I won't leave you.
Swear.
I don't have to.
Not him, no!
A long time ago, Waltz hurt her. He took her from me. And I want him to tell me where she is.
Well, that kind of information is expensive. Maybe I can help you.
Welcome to paradise.
Look around, Ayden. What do you see?
Something people outside the walls could only dream of.
Who would have thought the end of the world would be so peaceful? I wish Crane could have seen this.
Luan is
Wait, I wish Crane could. I need to hear that again.
Who would have thought the end of the world would be so peaceful? I wish Crane could have seen this.
That sounds like Spike, I think. Say, who all knew Crane? There's no way, see, Raheem died, even though there's a character named Raheem in this game. Jade died. Troy's alive. That was a deep voice. That was a dude. Brecken. That wasn't Brecken. Or maybe it was Brecken. That'd be interesting.
Luan, it's not a sign of weakness to say you were worried.
Death is how we thank traitors. You didn't say you were working for Ayden.
I don't work for Ayden, I work for myself.
Here we're all infected.
Are you scared of him?
Most people are.
The new bomber. The volatile. Ugh. The screamer, the banshee. Banshee's gonna be terrifying to deal with.
Those who are weak just give up.
Keep them busy.
They stop caring about anything. Give up on life, but you still care.
Drop him.
One move and he dies!
Drop him. You're no leader, Carl.
On behalf of all its whores, bandits, and idiots, I christen you a citizen of Villadore.
And in the name of law, you're sentenced to death for treason.
I know what loss is like.
Talking about someone in particular?
She trusted you, and you failed her. I'll be okay.
You pay for that.
3 against 1? I like those odds.
Count again.
Sometimes you have to become a monster to stay human.
Nothing could ever tear us apart anyway.
Fuck the plan. We don't know what's up there. You understand nothing.
A little boy wants to pretend he's a grown-up. A precious little boy.
I'm killing him the first chance I get. He's gonna be he's the new Rise. No! Let's see, what are the comments on this? Can't wait to roam the streets at night so long again. Until I turn into a zombie myself too. I wish Crane could have seen this. Right in the fields, Techland, right in the fields, yeah. Whatever the fuck that says. Spike, Brecken. Who else could have made it to Villadore? Yeah. I get off work early tomorrow, so I might stream Dying Light just for shits and giggles. Man, this is so good. I can't believe that's all the videos. I mean, they're going to put out more, but I'm not going to record them or anything. I can't wait to kill Waltz, whatever his name is. Just, find Mia, hopefully. Oh well. Wow, 3 hours. This is gonna take forever to upload. But I hope everything was loud enough. Because this is just going straight onto YouTube. I'm not rendering this or anything. Rendering will literally take forever. I might as well, though. Fuck. I just hope my computer's good enough. I got a 3060 and i9 9900K. I just hope my PC can play this well. Anyway, before I drag this out any longer, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been your host, Dragon Shinobi, and catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Dragon Shinobi. Last thing I streamed was... What was the last thing I streamed? Halo Infinite, that's what it was. I don't regularly stream, but, I mean, hey, if you'd actually come join the stream, go follow my channel, and it'd be really cool seeing anybody there, instead of just having 0 viewers the whole damn time. But yeah, God, I can't wait to play this so much. Just less than a month. I gotta put in my fucking time at work so I can take it off. Because I am taking off February 4th and February 25th. February 4th, because I get the 4th, 5th, and 6th off. So that's 3 days to play the game. And 25th for Elden Ring. So that's 3 days to play that. And oh my god, I can't wait to play both games. I'm more excited for Dying Light 2, though. Like, if anybody thought I wasn't going to play this as soon as possible for 24 hours, they're fucking wrong. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you made it to this point, comment pineapple or something. I don't know. Share this video with your friends. Share the last word to Dying Light 2. Because I really think this is a good way for me to take my time, just put everything in order for you guys, and, you have everything at disposal. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Or stream, maybe. I don't know.